Good morning, Crossfire fans. This is Pedro. Lobo is not here at the moment. He is getting dipped in a bath for our ride later this afternoon. But today we're going to be taking apart the speaker and the door and doing the repair, and I'm going to walk you through it. There's a little bit of difference from doing the subwoofer in the back of the seat compared to the door. There's a little bit more involved in removing it. So let's get started, and we'll hopefully this will help you along the way. Okay, first we want to remove this little ring here, so you want to get a small screwdriver or pry tool. And on the back of the ring there's these little clips, and the clips here you can see you have to remove, and they kind of grasp a hold of these little holes here, and that's what holds it on. So you want to get that out. So once you pull it out, you toss it aside, and the other one is kind of the same thing. It has the little tabs removed, and they connect in here. Okay, and so remove that as well, and there you can see the speaker is kind of exposed. Now looking at it, you're not going to get at it right away. You're going to have to remove or lift up the door panel. Okay, and that's a little more intense, so you have to get a pry tool for that, and I'll walk you through here in just 1 second. Next thing you want to do is remove this, pry it off. Also, you can get some of these trim prying tools. Are made of plastic, so they don't damage your finish here. And you just go in here and you pry, and it pops off. And there's tabs on it here as well. Be careful not to use too much force, because you can break them. Okay, and these suckers are expensive. They are not cheap. Okay, once you do that, you want to take a T30, and there's 2 screws on here, and I did this ahead of time so to save time. But you want to get those and loosen them out. Okay. And those are those screws, and there's 2 on each one. Okay, there's one here and one there. Okay, so when loosen that, we'll begin to loosen the panel. So I'm going to go around here now, and we're going to pry all this around, and we're going to lift it so I have access to the speaker. Okay, once you pry it, you start here, work your way underneath, and you just pry until you get it loose, and it'll pop out like that. Now you don't have to take the whole thing off, but you can, just to make it easier to work with. But then you have to remove these other ones. You have to remove the end. So just go ahead and do what seems fit best for you. Okay. Next, we're going to take off these screws here, and I'll show you where those are. Alrighty then. You have the speaker. Okay, this is the way it is. Sits in the door, and kind of like this. Okay, so you have this one T20 Torx head screw here that's mounted to the door, and this is about 7 o'clock, and this one's about 5 o'clock. Then you have one here at about 1 o'clock. Now there's a padding in the back that keeps it tight up against the door for weatherproofing. That sucker is stuck in there pretty good, so you might need to pry it, but be careful to use the tool, your plastic trim tool, because you can damage these tabs, and you want to break them off. If you do, then you're in for another type of repair. Okay, next thing we're going to do is you can get some tools to do this fix. You need a utility knife to scrape off the old one. You know, I got 2 different sizes I got in the kit from Harbor Freight. If you don't have that, a good old pocket knife will do. Okay. Your friend thinks you can cut an apple with it. Your T-Torx screw to take out the other screws with it. Have that handy. And one thing I did find out when I got this kit, it actually had 2, one for the driver's side, one for the passenger side. But when I had it, I was like this. I thought it was just one, and thinking it was an expensive thing. But then it fell on the floor from the table, and I realized that there's actually 2 of them. There's also a video at simplyspeakers.com, and you can find it there on how to do this details repair. Okay, well, let's get to this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dismount all this right here and take the speaker away from the housing. Okay, I got the 3 screws out. There's 3, and there's one right here at the bottom of 6 o'clock. There's one's at 9, and there's one at 3, and the third one is on the inside. So once you get those 3 screws out, put them in your screw tray, and then you can lift off the housing. And this is the speaker, and this is supposed to be the one that goes bad. I'm looking at it. I can't see for the life of me where it's bad. But it is buzzing. They say this is the problem, so we're going to fix it. Okay? So now I'm going to take this other part off it so I can better look at this and put the new ones. Anyways, it's coming out pretty good here. So as you can see, just doing this one-handed, as you can see, it's coming right off. So that could be why it was buzzing so bad. But anyway, this is real good material here. And it has a padding on both sides, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. But we'll figure it out once I get it completely off, okay? Okay, this is where my buzzing came from, okay? This kind of came apart, as that's why you need to be careful. When I separated this kind of lifted up on the side, and I was kind of looking at it, and it was kind of separating from here. So this kind of lifted out, so the glue on this came off right away. So I'm going to have to re-glue this to that, which won't be a big problem with the glue supplied. But if I lift this center section, you can see, once I get my hand that way, you can see how it's lifting off the side. And this side here is glued down pretty good, but this is lifting. So I believe this is where my buzzing was coming from. It wasn't from the other part at all. But without tearing it apart, I never would have found it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all this down, glue this down, and then I may put the original back in because it's in really good shape. And like I said, the material is totally different. So we'll go from there, okay? And then I'll show you the process of it, okay? No cleanup involved. All this is clean as a whistle. So that glue came right off. I don't know if it has to do with the paint on this or what. But we'll get this fixed on here. We'll get some glue on it and make sure it's not going to buzz anymore. I seated it back now here, and I've pressed it all the way around here with my finger, making sure that the holes are lined up. That's kind of all the way around. So we want to make sure that everything is lined up. Because if we don't, what's going to happen is when you go put the speaker in, the screws ain't going to go in. Okay? So everything there looks good. All the way around. Here. It's seated. Now I'm going to let that dry. About 30 minutes and we'll come back and put glue and seat the rest of this all the way around. Now, again, this Infinity speaker, I am surprised that this is the quality of this. No paper. No cheap material here. This is rubber. I can see where the money, why these are expensive speakers, because they are high quality. By comparison to the repair kit from the Simply Speakers, I may put this back on our Facebook page here. See if anybody's interested in buying them, or I may hang on for the rear speakers in case they ever go out. I don't think they will, but if somebody's in desperate need to them, I'll put out there for sale for the same price as what I paid for them. Yeah, it could work real good, but God, for your door speakers, if you're having buzzing, I really don't think this is going to tear. I really doubt it. It could be the filament underneath that's seated to where I showed you previously. That is probably what the cause of the buzzing is. So once I get this all seated up and sealed and dried, everything, we're going to reinstall back into the door, or just plug it in first and see if there's any buzzing in. Well, the speakers are in the door. They sound great. The buzzing is now gone. Everything looks good. So, problem solved. Before you go buy your kit, you might want to check the area that I put into you in the previous images in this video. It will help you a lot. The quality of these materials here is incredible. You probably did not break, except for the places where I showed you. It most likely just came unglued. And you can do this yourself. It's real easy repair, and you'll have a great time. Well, from San Antonio, it's Global and myself. Wish you have a great day. Throttle to the floor, tops down, and enjoy this summer that's coming up, because I know I'm going to. Have a great day. Thanks, guys, for watching. Comment below. Thumbs up if you like it. Feel free to comment, even if it's not so good. This video is a bit choppy, so I apologize for not being more thorough with the torque sizes and whatnot, but you guys get the message. Most of you are experienced veterans anyways, okay? Enjoy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.